A few years ago, on a night not too long from my high school graduation, I was hanging out with a group of friends as we would normally do. But this night was different. My friend's parents were out of town, and so we were smoking and drinking in a hot tub, just shooting the shit and falling in love. When I, like a modern day Dionysus, looked up at the stars and back down to my friends and said, I don't want to forget this night. I grab my cigarette, and as I bring it closer to me, my friends start shouting and realizing that I am about to burn myself. I take the cigarette and place it right under my thumb and hold it there, marking myself permanently with the precious memory of these people that I absolutely love. Fast forward to the next year and a half, we've been away at college and we were all coming down for Christmas. Excited to see each other, we all met up as soon as we could, and that was Christmas Eve. As we sat around the table trying to shoot the shit once again, we all found ourselves fishing for things to say. And this feeling of, I don't know these people anymore, started to settle, and the weight of that emotion was palpable in the room. No one would say it, but life began to show its face that night. So, what happened? How could these people that I adored suddenly feel like strangers to me? How could something so important to me become so unimportant to me? What about my cigarette burn? What am I supposed to think of this? Hey, my name is Dan, and I'm here to talk to you about finding the significance in the insignificance with a show named after food.
Yeah, sharp like an edge of a samurai sword, the mental blade cut through flesh and bone. No, my mind's at peace, the word out of order, listen then the heat, night gets colder. Oh yes, I have to find my path, no less walk on earth, water and fire. The elements compose a magnum, opens my motives of piranhas and amalgam. Steel packed tight in micro, chip on my armor, a sign of all pro. The ultimate reward is dining out of wars at odds with the times and wars with no lords. A freelancer, a battle cry of a hawk, make a dove fly and a teardrop.
Samurai Champloo is a show created by the incredible Shinichi Watanabe in 2004, but made its way to the US on May of 2005. Named after the dish Champloo, meaning to mix or hash, as it is a stir-fried dish. All of this is basically to say that this is a samurai remix, blending in hip-hop culture with Edo period Japan. This was accomplished with its dynamic, stylistic characters and its music producers Tsutchie, Fat John, Force of Nature, and the late Nujabes. The soundtrack for the show is incredible and has heavily impacted how music is listened to even now. But that can perhaps be a video for another time. Let's get back to why I'm a genius for burning my hand. The story is comprised of three characters. Mugen, a hot-headed 19-year-old from the Ryukyu Islands, who is begging to fight anyone just for breathing.
I'm a bad bitch, you can't kill me!
His style of fighting is wild, sporadic, and constantly breaking the mold. In a sense, he's
I call it bold and bright.
Jin, a ronin that spent his life training in a dojo but fled when his sensei attempted to assassinate him, and Jin struck him down out of self-defense. Jin is intelligent and all about structure, closely following Bushido, a way of life for samurai, even being named after one of the 7 samurai virtues, Jin meaning benevolence. And lastly, Fu, a courageous 15-year-old tea house waitress with an attitude and tremendous sense of duty 4 times her size. Fu may appear to be a boring, do-nothing character to some, but she is the anchor to the show and the foundation for this group of will-be friends, freeing the 2 samurai and having them help her on a quest to find the samurai that smells of sunflowers. The show opens up immediately showing you the power of authority and the fate of those who would dare defy it. Right off the bat, it's showing you 2 men about to be executed by an authority figure, and the man asking if they have anything left to say. Mugen proudly says,
Living means bowing down to the likes of you bastards. I'd rather die on my feet with my head held high.
while Jean, as if he would have said nothing if not for Mugen's outburst, silently agrees.
Well said. I agree with him.
As the swords are about to greet their necks, we scratch earlier to a day before. Enter Fu in the tea house she serves, being harassed by the son of a local governor. Fu is fuming and quick to react, but is quickly silenced by the tea house owners and asking her,
Shut your mouth, lady.
We scratch back to Jean in a crowd, witnessing the governor demanding money from a local. The governor, not being satisfied with the amount, demands his samurai to execute the citizen in the street. Jean silently takes a step forward, and as he does, a stranger grabs him and essentially tells him to not make a scene and that the governor's samurai are too strong for him. Cut back to the tea house, and now enters Mugen, offering to help Fu in exchange for food. After some bargaining and Fu getting into a pinch, she offers Mugen 100 dumplings to help her. Mugen jumps with glee, makes an attempt at math, and we go back to Jean about to cut down the governor's samurai. Eventually, Jean makes his way to the tea house as well. Mugen fights him on sight, and one of the goons Mugen wounded lights the tea house on fire. Jean and Mugen wake up bounded and are being prepped to be executed the next morning. Fu, having lost her place of employment, decides it's time to follow her quest, to find the samurai that smells of sunflowers. And she knows just the two to help her do it. She goes to the prison and tells Mugen and Jean that she will break them out if they promise not to kill each other and help her find the samurai. They agree, and we're back to the opening scene, which kicks off our 26-episode journey. This is a perfect example of how to write a first episode. With Fu not being afraid to speak her mind despite her frailness, Jean silently about to kill the governor's samurai like a ghost of justice, and Mugen wildly destroying the tea shop like a bull in a tea shop over getting a meal. This show has just told us everything about our characters and set the table with a 3-course meal that says there are those who fuck, those that get fucked, and those who don't give a fuck. Our group is made up of those that don't give a fuck, each in their own way. Mugen, Jean, and Fu are a mixed blend and fill in each other's gaps perfectly. Mugen lacks thought and selflessness. Jean lacks a voice and a willingness to break from structure. Fu lacks direction and waits to act until she's cornered. We see these three learn from each other and from strangers as they go on to face assassins, gang wars, graffiti wars, sex trafficking, baseball, and oh my god, is that weed? This show is so crazy and fun, but it's over before you know it. I don't want to say too much in case there are people out there who want to experience it for the first time, but I will go into the very end of the show, so if you are interested, please watch it and come back to this video. Now that we've gone into the history of the show and its characters, let's talk about what makes this show so poignant. By the end of the show, they all face their greatest enemies, themselves. Fu faces her father's selflessness, who hid from her and her mother so they wouldn't be killed by the shogunate that were trying to kill him. Mugen faces an unhinged lunatic with a kunai with chain that's as wild as Mugen's movements, while Jean is fighting a shogunate that's as quiet and as structured as he is, and the only way they all win is by acting like each other. Fu breaks her promise to herself and forgives her father. Mugen literally outwits kunai with chain by playing 4D chess, and Jean is only able to defeat the shogunate by breaking form and opening up his own defenses. It's beautiful. And Samurai Champloo continues to show this for its 26 episode run and lives up to its name. A mix of stories, but at its heart, one dish. The show easily influenced my taste and the format I prefer for storytelling. Some of my favorites including Gravity Falls, JoJo's Diamond Unbreakable, The Life and Times of Scrooge McDuck, etc. It's never about the destination, but the journey that makes me go gaga over them. Look at what we learned. Look at how we changed. Our world is just a little bit bigger than we thought. In this case, it's Fu saving Mugen and Jean's life to help her find a samurai that smells of sunflowers. All shows like these have a main character with a small group of friends, usually based off elements like earth, wind, water, and fire. However, what sets Champloo apart from using this same element formula is that the only main character in the show is the only character you don't see. Well, not physically, at least. Mugen as wild as fire, Jin as flowing as water, and Fu as firm as the earth. And if you don't believe me, then take it from the opening.
No less walk on earth, water, and fire. The elements compose a man.
Except we're missing one. The only one not mentioned is the only main character of the show. Air is life. Yes, literally, but figuratively in the show. Life itself is the main character of Samurai Champloo. It is the driving force that is in a deep relationship with the storytelling of this show. It moves the story forward beyond the show. Because at the end of the show, Jean vocalizes something that we've known since we met them.
I too feel as if I finally found what I've been searching for all this time. I have been alone my entire life. You two are my first friends.
And in less than 30 seconds, we're visually greeted with reality. An open sky, and the only parts of them facing each other are their backs. They say their goodbyes and walk down their own road. The credits roll, and oh my god, how could they do this to me? We finally hear one of them vocalize their undeniable bond as friends, and the rug gets pulled up from under our feet. How could this happen?
And the flowers are still standing.
While the credits roll, it shows each of them on their own as we go to black, and the only thing left is imagination. What could the rest of their life be? The only future that's certain is that everything is uncertain. Watanabe is saying, here is the brush, you paint the picture for what comes next. We have the moments we have with each other, but life goes on. All of a sudden, what was once yellow starts to get a little blue. And that's okay. Look at our characters and their faces from when we first see them compared to the end. The world just got bigger for them and they are in love with it. We make friends, we move, we change schools, we go away to schools, our values change. Anything could happen. This is life at its core. People will come and go. Things we like can change. We will change people. People will change us. But the only thing that is constant, even after our time in this world is done, is life. And this, unfortunately, Fu, Mugen, and Jean are not spared from. So if we're all supposed to grow and move from the people that we love, then what's the point of it all? Does it all mean nothing? What about the late night I love yous, the we should do this every years, the sitting on rooftops, the summer nights, the fires, well, you get my point. Does that all mean nothing? Does this cigarette mark on my thumb mean nothing? In the grand scheme of life, the answer is sadly no. In 100 years, people might not even know who Jerry Seinfeld is. No matter how significantly I try to make a mark on this world, we will always be insignificant. Between the weed, baseball, and the aliens and zombies, did all that mean nothing? See, the story is done. That season of their life is done. But these three will always remain friends, even if it's all in the past. It won't ever happen again, but
time is an illusion that helps things make sense. So we are always living in the present tense. It seems unforgiving when a good thing ends. But you and I will always be back then. You and I will always be back then.
And nothing can change that. Even if a friendship or a loved one is gone, it doesn't mean they're gone. They're part of our story for better or worse. It's what we do with the time that we spend together, the time that we have here, that makes it all worthwhile. My time is insignificant, but my time is significant because it's my time. I did that. I had those summer nights. I sat on that rooftop. I shared those late night drunken I love yous. I burned my hand with a cigarette. It means nothing, but it means something to me because I did it. That's my story. And there's your story. And this is their story. Which is why the end of the show hurts worse than any breakup or feels like a friend moving away. It's real. It's life. It's a Christmas Eve. It's significant. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. I've never really done anything like this before, or even a YouTube video in general. I just kind of wanted to do this for myself. This has been on my mind for a long time. But if there's anything you'd like to see me do, just go ahead and leave a comment. And if you did like this video, just like or leave a comment. Either way, I just hope you enjoyed the video. So thanks for stopping by.